YouTube? Yeah, what's going on YouTube? Next is TV back again on another video. Today I want to do like a kind of like a story time, basically. And this is a legitimate story that has happened to me before that I look back at now and laugh about how ridiculous it was, but back then it was terrible. So, when the story happened, I was in sixth grade. It was early 2018. It was around March, and we had this one teacher that taught um English and science, and none of us liked her at all. And looking back, she wasn't really that bad. She just kind of did too much, you know. She wanted the best for all of us, I know that, but she just wasn't we a lot of us just didn't listen, just didn't really care. So yeah, the day that this story happened, we had a preposition test. Now, mind you, I wasn't really good with prepositions. I never really understood it. But that day we had a test on it, and I wasn't really ready for it necessarily. But I did what I could, and I thought that I had done good on it because I put the words down that I remembered, and I thought that worst case scenario I'd get a C plus. And I know that if like I know that seeing that I would want to do better next time. Thing is though is that I did not get a C plus. I don't remember what grade I got on it. I just know that it was not good. It was nowhere near good. And I remember though that um I had submitted my test for it. And a few minutes later the teacher, like I think her name was Miss Schaefer, and she had asked any of us if we wanted to go help clean up the science lab in B Wing. Now, let me tell you about B Wing. Something happened to it like earlier in the year, like at the beginning of sixth grade, and that something was that the AC broke at that part of the building, and we couldn't stay there, so we had to move to the G Wing, which was another building across from the main building. Now, in the G Wing, there was no science lab, so we had to go back to B Wing whenever we needed to do an experiment or something like that. So I was the one who quickly raised my hand because I just wanted to get out of class. We had to be quiet for like the rest of the time, and now mind you, my class wasn't really like didn't really have the fastest test takers. Like I remember there was this one time where the classes had merged, and we had to like wait like 45 minutes just to finish a test. Now I might like make this into like a whole different channel if I really like doing this, and hopefully you guys will too. But if I ever do make a channel about it, the story that I just mentioned with the classes merging is gonna be on that channel. Now yeah, like I said, I just quickly raised my hand because I wanted to get out of class, and there was like another person who went with me. I'm not entirely sure who it was. I don't remember, but I know that they went with me. So, I'm pretty sure. Like I remember, I'm pretty sure that the math and history teacher, which mind you, everyone liked, had picked like two, because there were like I remember there were either 4 or 5 students, and there was 2 from my class and 2 from her class, and I'm pretty sure that um. I'm pretty sure that she had picked some people too. So we leave, we walk downstairs, and we walk toward the the science room. And we spent about 20 or 25 minutes in the science room. And funny fact about this story, I think either the principal or the person who was above the principal walked in, and we started hiding because we didn't know who it was. And then I just peeked my head out from behind like a corner, and he's like, "Zed, you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't notice it was you. I'm sorry." And it was kind of funny looking back, because like I just now actually remembered that that part of like the story. And so he leaves. He just came to check on us. So he leaves, and we finish cleaning up, and we're wasting. I remember like the other two kids were wasting time. Like they were throwing like this one piece, like this paper ball, like around the room. I'm like, bro, we have to hurry up. I don't want to miss recess because I cherished recess in sixth grade. I really did. And so we leave, and I remember that we can't really just walk to recess. So we go back to the G wing, hoping that we didn't miss too much. And I walk into the room, and she like there were like a few other kids in there that hadn't left, that hadn't like gone or anywhere left. And I just walk in, I'm like, okay, why aren't they at recess again? So I'm just kind of like in my mind, I'm just kind of asking myself that question, like what's going on. And then Miss Schaefer, she says, Zed, come sit beside me. And I'm wondering what's happening. Like what like did I mess up on something? What happened? What did I do? And she shows me my grade that I got on the test, and whew, that was a terrible grade. I don't remember what it was, but it was not an A or a B. And she was like, this was your grade on this test. Now I will be calling your parents. And I was just like, oh my gosh, please, no, do not do that. Because mind you, I had never got the parents called on me before. I've never got my parents called on me before. And I knew that this was the first time. And I remember before that, my dad had told me that if I didn't like get better with my work, I wasn't going to that school anymore. So and I actually like didn't hate the school. The people in it I didn't like yet because everyone was kind of mean to me at the time. But I liked the school because it was a nice school. It kind of felt like like a second home kind of. And I missed the feeling, and I kind of liked the feeling I had there. And I didn't want that to go away. So I was just sitting over here, like, I remember crying. I remember, like, being that scared and sad. And, I just, I just hear her, I just hear her, like, call, my dad. Because I think my mom was at work. My dad had either just gotten off. Yeah, he had just gotten off, I think. And, she calls him and says, hey, Mr. My last name. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm screwed right now. I'm in trouble. And she gives me back the test to finish. The thing is that the mechanical pencil that I was using in the test, it had run out of lead. And I was like, then I was wondering what happened to the lead, where'd it go? And I remembered at that second that I was pretty much running on empty during the test. And so I can't finish the test. I keep telling my teacher that my pencil's out of lead. My pencil's out of lead. I need another pencil. And she gives me another pencil. But as soon as I press it down to write, the dang thing breaks. It has the audacity of breaking. Or yeah, it has the audacity to break. And I'm like, bro, I can't do this. I cannot do this test. And I'm like, Miss Schaefer, the pencil broke again. And she's like, that's her problem, then. You should have brought another pencil. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. How are you going to give me this test to finish when I don't even have a pencil to finish the test? Because, like, I had lost every other pencil. I don't know how I'd lose the pencils, but I would lose a lot of pencils. And, I remember, like, I'm just sitting over here. And one vivid thing I remember about that story is that there was like this small piece of lead that I kind of pulled out my pencil. And it was about an inch long, and I was trying to write with that for some reason. And then I just realized I can't do it. I just give up, and I give the paper back to my teacher. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't have a pencil. I don't know. I just can't do it. And I'm just sitting here sad. And then my best friend at the time, Leo, he walks and he's like, what's everyone looking so depressed for? I'm like, bro, now was not the time for that. Do not now with that, please. And then I remember when we were all about to like go home and everything. We all had like the and another thing that I remember is that my friend Sebastian and I think another kid named Josh were was like in there with me. I know there was like about 6 or 7 of us in there. And I'm pretty sure that I only remember us 3. I know there were more of us in that room, but I don't remember us. I only remember us three, and I'm just over here like I can't do this. I cannot believe this is happening right now. And so I get ready to leave, and I'm pretty sure she was just like, I get in my car, and I'm pretty sure like my teacher, she was just she didn't actually call him. I'm pretty sure. I must have heard the name wrong or something like that. Mind you, there was no way I could have heard the name wrong because I was sitting right beside her. With the way the seats in the classroom were positioned and set up, the seat I was in was like literally right beside her desk. There was no way, and I would repeat, no way that I could have misheard her. And I just kind of get in the car, and I'm just kind of sitting there numb, like what's gonna happen to me? Like, what is my dad gonna whoop me? Is he gonna yell at me? Like, what is he gonna do? Like, what's gonna happen? Is he gonna be calm about it? Like, I didn't know. And so I'm just riding. I'm just riding in the car, and my grandfather asked, "How was your day?" I'm like, "It was great. It was okay," because I didn't really feel like going into specifics. Like, if my dad got mad, then I'd explain to him. I just didn't feel like explaining it to anybody else. And literally, like an intersection away from my house. Like, my house was kind of on a street. It wasn't really in a neighborhood. It was kind of on a street. And if you left that street and kind of went to the right, there was an intersection as soon as you went to the right. Now, I was at that intersection, going, like, facing toward my house, and he was, like, my grandfather just gets a call, and I'm like, please tell me it's my aunt or something. Just please don't let it be my dad. And newsflash, it's my dad. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. And like, the reason how I knew it was my dad was, one, I was hearing his voice in the phone because the volume in the call was like all the way up. I'm pretty sure it was max. And I heard my grandfather say, "Well, we're right near the house, so we'll be there in like a minute." I'm like, Jesus, why now? Why now? And so I get out, and like the door is unlocked already, and I walk into the house, and like I see my dad sitting there with, and at the time I didn't have a phone yet, I had a tablet, and he was sitting there on my tablet with my controller, my PS4 controller right beside him, and I'm like, hey dad, what's up? And I'm just kind of like downplaying it, acting like nothing really happened that day. And he was like, I don't know, son, you tell me, because your teacher just gave me a call. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, that's when I realized that none of my wit, none of like the smarts I had could have gotten me out of that situation. I was in deep trouble. And he's just kind of talking to me, like, kind of like telling me that I can do better. And eventually, like, I'm just kind of sitting on my couch, just kind of like wondering, like, when is this all gonna be over? Like, when is this gonna just, cause at the time my dad had another job, and I was wondering, like, when is he just gonna just leave and go to his next job? Cause I was waiting for that. I was waiting for him to just leave the house so that I can just sit there and just think about what I've done. And then he calls my mother. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why? Why are you, like, I'll tell mom about this. Just please, no. And he's, after, like, he gets off, like, he was like, I think we should just get him a phone because he's not keeping this tablet. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, why? Just, why? And, then, I don't like, that whole part was just, like, kind of like a blur. And then, like, he just leaves out, and I'm just kind of wondering, like, what. He didn't say I had to leave the school. Like, he just kind of left. He said goodbye to me and left, and I was just like, I just kind of sat there, just kind of anxious. Like, I didn't have my tablet. I didn't have my PlayStation controller. I just kind of sat there, just watched TV, and just kind of like, what's the word for it? I kind of just like roamed around my house until my mom got home a few hours later. And she was like, son, come sit down. And like, that's all I remember her saying when she got home. I don't remember it. I literally do not remember anything else from, I remember her getting home and walking into the door. That's it. That's where like my memory of the story ends. I'm guessing that's where the video is going to end. So thank you for watching this video today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and turn the bell on so you can get notified about my videos. And next is TV. Signing off. May God bless. Have a good day.